Sir, I have the privilege to call upon the Pro-Chancellor to deliver his address.
The visitor, President Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Rukayat Ahmed Rufai, OON. Your Excellencies, the Executive Governors of the various states of the Federation here present, distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria here present, honorable members of the Federal House of Representatives here present, Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, Professor Julius Okoje, OON, distinguished members of now Governing Council, heads of representatives here present, Your Royal Highness here present, my Lord Spiritual and Temporal, visiting Vice Chancellors here present, the former Vice Chancellor of now and now Secretary to the Kogi State Government, Professor Olubere Jegede, the Vice Chancellor, Principal Officers and members of Senate of now, Registrar of other universities here present, President Association of African Universities, President African Council for Distance Education, friends of now, staff and students of now, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I wish to begin this welcome address by expressing my profound gratitude to God for enabling us to witness this historic day in the life of National Open University of Nigeria. I also thank God for granting me the privilege to head the Governing Council of the University at this point in time. I thank Mr. President and visitor to the University and the Honorable Minister of Education for affording me and my colleagues the opportunity to serve our nation in this capacity. I'm highly delighted to welcome to this august occasion our dear President and visitor to the University, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, ably represented by our distinguished Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Rukayat Ahmed Rufai, OON. We sincerely appreciate your presence here today, despite other numerous and pressing national responsibilities demanding your urgent attention. On behalf of the University Governing Council, I welcome everyone who has found time to honor our invitation. I congratulate you, my dear graduates, on the successful completion of your various programs in the university. We are not unaware of the myriads of problems that you pass through in the course of your studies, but we salute your courage and determination to overcome these problems. Rather than succumb and abandon your programs as some of your colleagues, you persevere to the end. Today, you have earned your degrees successfully. Once again, I heartily congratulate you on your achievements. The history of the National Open University of Nigeria is too well known to many of us that I don't consider it necessary to bore you now with the details. In any case, I believe that the Vice Chancellor's address will provide sufficient information on this for the benefit of those who might not know or who might have forgotten the history. Suffice it to say here that since its resuscitation in 2002, now has become the fountainhead and the springboard for open and distant education in Nigeria. The present Governing Council of the University was inaugurated on 10th February 2009. Since then, Council has been providing sound policy guidance for the management of the university. Expectedly, it has not been a smooth ride, but Council has managed the little financial resources available to the university most prudently. It has provided leadership to the university management within the confines of its authority and has recorded modest achievements in the infrastructure development of the institution. In addition, adequate attention has been paid to staff welfare, training, and development. A major development during the tenure of this council is the institution of a presidential visitation panel into the affairs of the university. The panel was inaugurated alongside others by the Honorable Minister of Education on 14th February 2011. The seven-member panel looked into the affairs of the university for the period 2004 to 2010 and made recommendations to the visitor. It is worthy of note that the Governing Council was not found wanting in its superintendence over the affairs of the university. Moreover, the Council has implemented all the directives of the visitor in the white paper on the report of the visitation panel. May I, at this juncture, pay glowing tribute to the first Governing Council of the university, under the able leadership of Professor Njidayeni Gazama, Shetima Bonu, for laying a sound foundation upon which the present council, under my leadership, has successfully built. Let me also pledge anew, on behalf of my colleagues, our resolve to continue to give our very best in the service of now, and I, by extension, our dear country, Nigeria. I would like to conclude this address on a note of gratitude to God Almighty for making today's event a reality. I thank you all, our distinguished guests, for sharing in our joy today. Thank you for gracing this convocation with your esteemed presence. It is my hope that when next we call, you will not hesitate to answer us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish you journey mercies back to your various places of abode at the end of this exercise. Thank you, thank God. God bless you and bless Nigeria.
Sir, I have the privilege to call upon the Vice-Chancellor to deliver his address. Huh? Sorry.
Okay, start. The Visitor and President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Rukat Ahmed Rufai, OON. Your Excellencies, the executive governors of various states and their representatives present here, distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria present, honorable members of the National Assembly present, honorable ministers of education, honorable Minister of State of Education, members of the Federal Executive Council present here, ministers, permanent secretaries present here, Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, Professor Julius Okoje, OON, former ministers of education present, permanent secretaries, pro-chancellors, head of parastatals, and chief executive officers, your Royal Highnesses, my Lord Spiritual and Temporal, visiting Vice-Chancellors, now former Vice-Chancellor, and now Secretary to the Kogi State Government, Professor Olugbemiro Jagade, former Vice-Chancellors, Principal Officers, and members of Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, visiting registrars of other universities, visiting rectors of polytechnics and provosts of colleges of education, and their representatives, President, Commonwealth of Learning, ably represented, President, African Council for Distance Education, represented by Professor Musinda, international visitors, captains of industry, friends of NOUN, principal officers and Senate of NOUN, staff and students of National Open University, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you heartily to this convocation. It is pertinent for me to begin this speech by expressing profound gratitude to Almighty God for sparing our lives to witness this important day in the history of the National Open University of Nigeria. By extension, I also appreciate the Creator of seasons and times of man who in his infinite mercies graciously granted me the privilege to head this great institution. Most especially, I am highly delighted to welcome and have in our midst today our dear President and visitor to the university, who is ably represented by the Minister of Education. Mr. President, on behalf of the University Governing Council, Senate and management, staff and students of the National Open University, I heartily and warmly welcome you to this august occasion. National Open University sincerely appreciates your presence here today, and considering the numerous national and international engagements that are before you, you are able to come and witness our occasion today. Our distinguished guests and well-wishers, it is stressing the obvious to say that I am more than happy to see you all here, honoring our invitation to be part of NOUN's joyous occasion. Because you found time to come and rejoice with us, we pray that people also will rejoice with you one day. As you arrive safely here, so will you get back safely. Once again, on behalf of the University Governing Council, Senate, members of staff, students of the National Open University, I warmly welcome you to this convocation. May I now focus on the most important subject of the day, and that is our graduating students. On behalf of the University Senate and management, I congratulate you on your successful completion of your various programs in the university. One must acknowledge that, in fact, completion of your various programs in the university, one must acknowledge that it has not been easy and it has not been a smooth journey. But then, life is, nothing good comes easy. This I know, sung by our popular musician, Bongo Sikwe. It is true today, and it is now, and it will always be. The joy of our satisfaction is you have arrived, and with your precious certificates that cannot be taken away from you. So I welcome you with pleasure into the class of university graduates. May I quickly remind us that the National Open University of Nigeria is now known to us that the idea was first established in 1983 and later suspended. It was during the reign of President Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, that the idea was resuscitated in 2002. And since then, we have been in this business. Mr. President, the past 10 years have not been easy for National Open University of Nigeria, as with all new institutions, contended with infrastructural and as well as manpower challenges for a greater part of the period. Of no less important also was our battle with the society's wrong perception of open and distance learning, seen as inferior in comparison with familiar conventional mode of learning. For those who still harbor doubts about distance education, however, it is pertinent to recall that when the Open University of the United Kingdom was established in 1969, it was looked down upon by a large population of its people. Today, the Open University of the United Kingdom ranks among the 4 most prestigious universities in the United Kingdom, with its products sought after by business and industry. Little wonder the newly developed nations of Asia, such as China, India, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, to mention a few, on realizing the great benefits in open and distance learning, quickly established their own open universities. It is gratifying to note that these open universities have carved a niche for themselves and have become reference point in research and development. Indeed, developments have continued to add credibility to evidence which justify the establishment of open and distance education as pedagogically sound and cost-effective complement to conventional classroom-bound education. Now it is becoming more glaring that open and distance learning, which is basically about open access, flexible delivery of instruction, learner-centered approaches to course material design and delivery, will become even more attractive to and practical for developing countries and indeed the rest of the world. In Africa, one is glad to note that open and distance learning is fast gaining ground. Examples of countries that have established their own open universities are South Africa, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Sudan, Mauritius, to mention a few. Nigeria cannot afford to lag behind in open and distance education. Therefore, it is imperative that government at all levels, private institutions, and business community should support the National Open University of Nigeria in one way or the other in its quest to provide functional, cost-effective, and flexible learning which adds lifelong value to quality education. Mr. President, now is occupying a vantage position as an important provider of open and distance learning. It is the only university established with elastic capacity to admit thousands or even millions of qualified candidates. With now, there is no capacity limit. The only limit now is funding. But with government's intervention or government's determination, this can be addressed. Our dear President now is looking up to you in this area. With now greatly empowered, it will be able to move faster to accomplish the set visions and missions objectives. Mr. President, you may be pleased to know that my predecessor and former Vice Chancellor of National Open University of Nigeria, Professor Olugbemiro Jegede, who is present here today because of his love for open and distance education, laid a solid foundation in all important areas of the university, for which the university will ever be appreciative. His labor of love and sacrifice has given my administration a strong platform and confidence to commence serious work of building in the past 2 years. To mention a few, the university now has strong physical presence in all the length and breadth of this nation through our 49 study centers, made up of 35 conventional study centers, 8 special study centers, and 6 community study centers. These study centers are very important for our educational delivery. Mr. President, a recent landmark achievement of this university was the accreditation of 30 programs out of the 31 presented to National University Commission for accreditation in March 2012. The only program that was denied accreditation has already been repackaged for reaccreditation, and we are very optimistic that we will pass the exercise this time. Similarly, the National Universities Commission has just completed the accreditation of our MBA and MPA programs, and I'm very happy and proud to inform the public that we passed with flying colors. Other notable developments include automatic electronic issuance of admissions to students as well as ID cards, online payments and online registration, automatic electronic examination, early release of results, and you can see that NUC agrees with all that we are doing. If you are looking at the screen, you will see the NUC Executive Secretary confirming what we are doing. And the Vice Chancellor is standing behind him, so he cannot deny this fact. We have also now increased volumes of printed course materials, production of CD-ROMs for all non-edited and unprinted course materials. We have been rated 7th out of the 8 universities that appeared in the 100 universities in Africa as rated by Webometric rating in 2001. Now has excellent staff welfare schemes. We have established a staff cooperative society. We have a musical band, we have a drama band and cultural troupe, as well as a sports association. I want to inform you, this august audience, that in 2001, the National Open University of Nigeria Staff Sports Association took fifth position during the All Nigeria University Staff Games, even though we were appearing for the first time. We have now been able to develop at least 98% of our course materials, and we have posted them on the web. As the premier ODL university in West Africa sub-region, now values partnership. And that is why we are in partnership with the Commonwealth of Learning, the International Council for Distance Education, the African Council for Distance Education, United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, Indira Gandhi National Open University of India, University of South Africa, Open University of Hong Kong, Open University of the United Kingdom, Open University of Australia, Athabasca University in Canada, and so on and so forth. These partnerships and collaborations have helped now to greatly develop its manpower and material resources through pooled resources, ideas, experiences to enhance planning, implementation of open and distant learning. Now is now well positioned to ensure the attainment of the transformational agenda of Mr. President and of this administration through education by actualizing the demand for increase in access to tertiary education. The university has just developed a 5-year strategic plan to ensure such access while maintaining high quality and standards that are at par with international best practice. The university has plans to take education to the doorsteps of peculiar people who by nature of their professional and social callings might not be chanced to pursue education through the conventional system. These include the military and paramilitary groups, the police, road transport workers, traders, market women, girl child, etc. Through the skill acquisition and entrepreneurial courses in NOUN, the university is in position to assist the federal government of Nigeria to create millions of jobs and reduce the level of unemployment and hence reduce negative social vices in our communities. The National Open University of Nigeria is the people's university. There is a place for everybody. In now, everybody is somebody. It is in recognition of the contributions of this university to the upliftment of tertiary education, particularly in open and distant education, that Nigeria's bid was accepted to host the 7th Pan-Commonwealth Forum, PCF7, in conjunction with the Commonwealth of Learning, which comes up in December this year. The PCF7 was zoned to Africa at the last PCF6, which took place in India in November 2010. Your Excellency, sir, Nigeria's acceptance to host this important event with now as the lead institution is not only good for Nigeria in general, but in particular it is remarkable, it's a remarkable recognition of now as an important stakeholder in open and distant education at the international level. It is also worthy of mention that this will not be the first time the university will be hosting an international conference of this magnitude. It had hosted the second African Council for Distance Education, ACD conference in 2008. And that is why we have so many international awards. I will not, Mr. President, I don't intend to bore you with Now's catalog of challenges, but permit me to mention a few important areas of these challenges. These challenges include advocacy and acceptability of ODL as a mode of delivery of education, course material development, lack of finance for facilitation at all study centers, development of our study centers across Federation, development of our Center for Educational Technology and Entrepreneurial Development at Kaduna, development of some key infrastructural facilities at the headquarters, and development of our permanent site allocated to us in Jabi district in Abuja. You can see that this advocacy and acceptability is something that is being pursued, and we have paid visits to various organizations. And the infrastructural challenges that we have are very obvious. While we realistically acknowledge that the government alone cannot fund higher education, we also must admit our financial inadequacies. Sir, we are earnestly looking up to the government to significantly increase NOW's financial allocation in order for it to tackle these areas of challenges. In the same vein, we are also appealing to the public-spirited persons, NGOs, local and international organizations, and other stakeholders in higher education to come partner with NOW in one way or the other to help the university in any form of the aforementioned areas. I am sure posterity will remember us for our good deeds. Permit me to conclude this address by congratulating our graduating students once again. Congratulations to all of you who are graduating today. You have come, you have seen, and you have conquered. Wisdom, it is said, is application of knowledge. I enjoin you most sincerely to apply the knowledge you have obtained here in your workplace or whatever area of interest of life you find yourselves. It is whatever you make of your situation that will remain, that will determine your station in life. As you live here, remember that you are ambassadors of this institution, wherever you are. You will be doing the university and yourselves a lot of good by projecting a good image of this institution. At this juncture, distinguished guests, let me give a simple breakdown of our graduates. In this convocation by schools, we have 84 people who obtained their various certificates in our Center for Lifelong Learning and Workplace Training. We have 969 graduates from the School of Arts and Social Sciences, School of Education, 124, School of Management Sciences, 409, and School of Science and Technology. The school where the Vice Chancellor belongs to is 2,033 graduates. From our postgraduate schools, we have 3,601, giving a total of 7,220 graduates from this convocation. Of these, I want to quickly mention that of the undergraduates that are convoked in this morning, we have 929 in the position of second class upper. We have 2,223 as second class lower, and we have 319 in third class, and we have 8 candidates in the pass position. Mr. President, we are not able to produce any first class in this convocation. We hope to do so in the future. It is interesting to note that all the certificates of our graduates are ready for collection. And in fact, the process of collecting the original certificate will commence immediately after this ceremony at this same venue. I am sure the NUC will ask other universities to take you from this. And Mr. President will also give that order. On behalf of the Governing Council, Senate, and management of the university, I congratulate you all and wish you well. Let me also congratulate with pleasure our honorary graduates for their invaluable contributions to the upliftment of higher education in Nigeria and beyond. And I will want to say that today we are going to present just one honorary graduate, and that will be posthumously. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express our appreciation to our friends, supporters, and benefactors over the year. We could not have come this far without the support and encouragement. We say a big thank you to you all. Our foremost appreciation goes to Mr. President, who has been good to us in all respect. May I take permission of our visitor to show the sample of our certificates and to prove that it is ready for collection, signed and sealed. Of particular mention was the unexpected intervention through a special fund released in 2001 by Mr. President for our course material development. Distinguished guests, they say a river that forgets its source in no time shall dry up. Our special appreciation goes to our father and former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, our irrepressible father and ebullient former student. Words are inadequate to express Now's deep gratitude to you. You were the instrument of justice that God used to bring us back to life. We are grateful to members of the National Assembly, especially members of the Senate and House Committee on Education for their support. My gratitude also goes to the Governing Council, who have been like us all up behind now. We say a big thank you for life and love. I thank all the past ministers of education and the present minister, Professor Rukayat Ahmed Rufai, OON, the Executive Secretary of National Universities Commission, Professor Julius Okoje, OON, and all Vice Chancellors of universities, rectors of polytechnics and monotechnics, provosts of colleges of education, as well as chief executive officers and of parastatals under Federal Ministry of Education, especially TEFON for intervention for their encouragement and allied support. I have to thank all universities and polytechnics and colleges of education because now utilizes your resources in terms of human and capital all over the country. We are indeed very grateful to you all. The chairman and pro-chancellor have been a good shepherd, leading us gently and lovingly. I wish to thank all international partners, especially the Commonwealth of Learning, ACD, ICD, UNESCO, etc., for their strong support and cooperation. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, today's event has given us a new flip. It is poignant statement and beautiful testimony to all and sundry that now is marching forward. It is our strong determination to continue to do so. With the support and prayers of all stakeholders and the public, now we soar higher and make waves. It will revolutionize tertiary education through open and distant learning thereby creating platforms for all who desire to use their God-given potentials, not just to benefit themselves, but also the benefit of all humanity. I wish to thank all the members of the management of NAM, and I also wish to thank all staff and students for their cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you all for listening carefully to this open address. Thank you and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Well done, sir. May I now invite the Director, Center for Lifelong Learning and Workplace Training, to present his graduates.
All graduates for the award of certificates and diplomas should please stand up and remain standing. Yeah, no. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I present to you these graduates here present and those who are unavoidably absent, for whom I stand proxy, who are found worthy both in character and learning to be awarded certificates, diploma, and diplomas of the Center for Lifelong Learning and Workplace Training of this university in the following programs: certificate in computer literacy, dental office practice, entrepreneurship, financial management, marketing, medical office practice, and diploma programs in business communication, entrepreneurship, financial management, marketing, and medical office practice.
By the authority conferred on me by the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, I award you certificates and diplomas of the Center for Lifelong Training and Workplace Training of this university.
May I invite the Acting Dean, School of Arts and Social Sciences, to present his graduates.
All graduates for the award of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees in the following disciplines should please stand and remain standing. BA English, Bachelor of Science Criminology and Security Studies, Bachelor of Science Peace Studies and Conflict Resolution. The Vice Chancellor, sir, I present to you these graduates here present and those who are unavailably absent, for whom I stand proxy, who are found worthy both in character and learning to be awarded Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees in the above listed programs.
By the authority conferred on me by the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, I award you Bachelor of Arts in English and Bachelor of Science degrees in Peace and Conflict Resolution and Criminology and Security Studies of the School of Arts and Social Sciences of this university.
May I now invite the Dean, School of Management Sciences, to present his graduates.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I present to you these graduates. Should you please stand up, those for BSc Cooperative Management, Entrepreneurial and Business Management, BSc Hotel and Catering Management, and then BSc Tourism Studies. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I present to you these graduates here present and those who are unavoidably absent, for whom I stand proxy, who are found worthy, both in character and learning, to be awarded the Bachelor of Science, BSc degrees in the above listed programs of the University of the School of Management Sciences.
By the authority conferred on me by the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, I award you Bachelor of Science, BSc degrees in Tourism, Cooperative Management, Hotel and Catering Management, and Entrepreneurial and Business Management of the School of Management Sciences of the National Open University of Nigeria.
May I invite the Dean, School of Education, to present his graduates.
All graduates for the award of Bachelor of Education degrees in the following disciplines should please stand up and remain standing. Bachelor of Arts, Education, Early Childhood Education, Bachelor of Arts, Education, English, Bachelor of Arts, Education, Primary Education, Bachelor of Science Education, Business Education, Bachelor of Science Education, Agricultural Science, Bachelor of Science Education, Biology, Bachelor of Science Education, Mathematics, and Bachelor of Science Education, Computer Science. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I present to you these graduates here present and those who are unavoidably absent, for whom I stand proxy, who are found worthy, both in character and in learning, to be awarded Bachelor of Education degrees of the School of Education.
By the authority conferred on me by the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, I award you Bachelor of Education, BA, and Bachelor of Science Education, BSc Ed degrees of the School of Education of this university.
May I invite the Dean, School of Science and Technology, to present his graduates.
All graduates for the award of Bachelor of Science degrees in the following disciplines should please stand up and remain standing. Bachelor of Science, Communication Technology. Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Bachelor of Science, Data Management. Bachelor of Science, Environmental Science and Resource Management. BSc Mathematics with Computer Science combined honors. BSc Mathematics and Bachelor of Nursing Science. I have to invite you, sir. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I present to you these graduates here present and those who are unavoidably absent, for whom I stand proxy, who have been found worthy both in character and learning to be awarded Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Nursing Science degrees of the School of Science and Technology. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir.
By the authority conferred on me by the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, I award to you Bachelor of Science degrees of the School of Science and Technology, as well as Bachelor of Nursing Science of the School of Science and Technology of the National Open University of Nigeria.
May I now call on the Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies, to present graduates of his school.
Will all graduates for the award of postgraduate diploma and master's degree in the following programs please stand and remain standing? Postgraduate diploma in Christian theology, postgraduate diploma in criminology and security studies, postgraduate diploma in peace studies and conflict resolution, postgraduate diploma in journalism, postgraduate diploma in education, postgraduate diploma in banking and finance, postgraduate diploma in cooperative management, postgraduate diploma in cooperative governance, postgraduate diploma in e-banking, postgraduate diploma in e-business, postgraduate diploma in financial management, postgraduate diploma in human resource management, postgraduate diploma in local government management, postgraduate diploma in agricultural extension and management, postgraduate diploma in digital communication, postgraduate diploma in HIV education and management, postgraduate diploma in information technology, postgraduate diploma in mobile wireless communication, postgraduate diploma in legislative drafting, MBA banking and finance, MBA corporate governance, MBA e-banking, MBA e-business and e-commerce, MBA financial management, MBA human resource management, MBA information technology, MBA marketing, MBA public personnel management, Commonwealth Executive Master of Business Administration, Commonwealth Executive Master of Public Administration, Masters in Information Technology, Masters in Mass Communication, Masters in Peace and Conflict Resolution, Master of Education, Educational Planning and Education Administration Planning, Master of Education in Educational Technology, and Master Science Education. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I present to you these graduates here present and those who are unavoidably absent, for whom I stand proxy, who have been found worthy both in character and in learning to be awarded postgraduate diplomas and master's degree of the School of Postgraduate Studies of the National Open University of Nigeria.
By the authority conferred on me by the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, I award you postgraduate diplomas and master's degrees of the School of Postgraduate Studies of this great university as listed.
I want to clear with that. Sir, it is now time to honor our students who have excelled in various forms in the academics and would like to give them their award letters and a handshake from the Vice Chancellor and the Minister. Just you. I think so. There we go. So as I call your name, please come out. Alhaji Shehu Shagari Prize for the overall best graduating student in the university. Uzom Wane Lovelyn Ebere, BSc Environmental Science and Resource Management. Please come. Come now. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo Prize for the best graduating student in the School of Science and Technology. Uzom Wane Lovelyn Ebere, BSc Environmental Science and Resource Management. Professor Vincent Adotenebe's Prize for the best graduating student. Professor Vincent Adotenebe's Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Entrepreneurial and Business Management. Salisu Idiat Oluwaseyi. Professor Olugbemiro Jagede Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Ed Biology. Nyong Okon F. Young. Professor Nebath Tanglang Prize for the best graduating student in education. Lane Omaku Ogbene, BA in Ed English. Sir Monde John Oyeme Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Hotel and Catering Management. Babalola Margaret Okpeolua. Mrs. Josephine Olasumbo Akinyemi Prize for the best overall female graduating student in the university. Ozowane Lovelyn Ebere, BSc in Environmental Science and Resource Management. Dr. Suleiman Ramon Yusuf Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Computer Science. Enang Monde Ibo. Professor Godwin Sogolo Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Peace Studies and Conflict Resolution. Iyang Innocent Emmanuel, there's a tie here, and Osai Chukuma Patrick. Professor Joy Eyisi Prize for the best graduating female student in BA English. DK Evelyn Anwule. Late Chief John Oyeme Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Tourism Studies. Akolo Josephine T. Luchi Andera Ileka Prize for the best graduating student in BA Ed Early Childhood Education. Wangu Dorothy Wada. Mrs. Hawa Charity Ben-Hikris Prize for the best graduating female student in BSc Peace Studies and Conflict Resolution, Naji Uchenna Stella. Now Multipurpose Cooperative Society Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Cooperative Management, Odomena Chukudi Bede. Dr. Uche Mercy Okonkwo Prize for the best graduating student in BA Ed English, Lane Omako Ogbene. Galadima and Pati's Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Communication Technology, Keyamo Amone Clement. Elder Joseph Oguntunde Ogidon Prize for the best performing student in guidance and counseling, Lane Omako Ogbene. Alhaji Habib Alasure Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Criminology and Security Studies, Gokum Ezekiel. Mrs. Lillian N. Nwakwa Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Ed Business Education, Nze Meka Vera Chineye. Cyberspace Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Computer Science, Enang Monde Ibo. Macmeze Nigeria Limited Prize for the best graduating student in BSc Environmental Science and Resource Management, Uzowane Lovelyn Ebere. Yes, sir. The best graduating student will give a short valedictory speech on behalf of the other students. Lovelyn. Where is she? She's here. Give me your valedictory.
Our valedictory speech presented by Uzowane Lovelyn Ebere at non-convocation ceremony on the 19th January 2013. His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Fashola San, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Vincent Ado Denebe, the Registrar, Mrs. Josephine Akinyemi, all members of the University Senate, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, compliment of the day. It is an honor to address this set of graduating students and represent such a diverse group of students at National Open University of Nigeria. This, I believe, is a credit to Posaka Study Center. On behalf of the graduates, I hereby welcome all of you to this historic occasion. Today, I have mixed feelings of delight and sorrow. Delight because I can see how happy my fellow graduates are. After seeing endless TMS, unfamiliar online mode of examinations, seminars, long tests and stress, we managed to survive without casualties. To God be the glory. Seeing each one of my classmates' faces somehow gave me a little flashback of the many different memories with every one of you. Those days in the study group discussion, presentation, meetings, and etc. I know how we have all shared amazing memories with each other and cried on each other's shoulders and handkerchiefs. Laughed together, argued like crazy, but still I see that the bond between us can never break. I also see eyes slowly tearing up, which makes me feel so sad because we must miss each other. Here we are now. Years have gone by, and today we are accomplishing one of the greatest achievements in our lives. Today, we have surpassed all the boundaries of the university, taking with us knowledge that will guide us on our various endeavors in life. The success we all enjoy today did not come in a platter of gold. We all worked for it. I can flash back to the onset of the career when so many of our classmates opted out due to some uncertainties and constraints. One thing I believe is that it takes determination and hard work to make success. Thank God today, a point has been proved of National Open University of Nigeria. With the trend of events, it is now obvious that in no distant time, the university will be a second to none in Africa and will rival the best. The open and distant learning accomplishes a lot of goals, including access and equity in educational opportunities, meeting special needs for working places training, moving people to where jobs are, internalization of tertiary education curricula, and ameliorating the effect of internal and external brain drain in tertiary institutions. No nation can claim to be responsive to the needs of its citizens without building upon education as the most important foundation towards national, corporate, and personal development. However, we know that no nation can afford to provide education to all citizens via the traditional classroom-based face-to-face mode. Today, major educational milestone has been reached, irrevocable steps to make education openly accessible, equitable, and affordable to all Nigerians. Our profound gratitude goes to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, his relentless efforts to ensure the resuscitation of this institution. He has continued to advocate for the pursuit of education for all and eliminating elitism out of education. The opportunity of the Honorable Minister for Education, Professor Rukiat Rufai, is quite unquantifiable. She has always given support to ensure the growth of the institution. This speech will not be complete without acknowledging the great inspiration and support of the former Vice-Chancellor, Professor Olugbemiro Jegede, who took a bold step against wallowing in illiteracy and ignorance. We remain grateful to the President and Grand Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, for all his sustenance. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Vincent Ato Tenebe, has strived to make our career successful today. We appreciate you and all the management and staff. We appreciate also other management and staffs, regional and study centers. My center director, Dr. G.A.I. Nwogu, you have always been there for us. Your encouragement and affection spurred us in this career, and today we are smiling. Thanks to you all, thanks to you and the counselors, staffs and facilitators of Port Harcourt Study Center. On behalf of the graduates, I also wish to call the attention of the management to some area of constraints to the students. Though some good improvement have been made on area of availability of course materials, it will empower the student better if something more serious is done about that. To all our friends, relatives sitting here today with us, who have helped us to finally, emotionally and otherwise, to achieve our aim today, we say a big thank you to you all. Most importantly, I want to congratulate all of you who have worked so hard today to be here today. Congratulations to graduates of the second non-convocation. Today is your day. Thank you so much and remain blessed. Lovely, also one name.
Thank you very much. May I now call on the vice chancellors who have goodwill messages for noun to bring them forward in the following order. Professor, where I'll drop. Professor Hayward Mafia, University of Jos, Vice Chancellor. Professor Mafia, University of Jos, Vice Chancellor.
Vice Chancellor, University of Jos. I think you.
Okay. Professor John Olorun Maye, University of Ilorin. Dr. Timothy Utile, Benue State University, Makurdi. Professor J.A. Ogidi, National Mathematical Center, Abuja. Professor S.L. Keller, Federal University, Kashere, Gombe. Dr. Esron T. Joktan, Gombe State University. Professor S.R. Ogunduyile, FUT Akure. Professor G. Dara, Delta State University. Professor Bayo Okunade, University of Ibadan. Professor Ayo Kolawole, Redeemers University. Dr. A.H. Ahmed II, Federal University, Lafia. Professor Bashir Usman, Modibo Adama, University of Technology, Yola. Professor Eso Okeniyi, Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna. Professor Ayodeji Olukoju, Caleb University, Imota, Lagos. Professor M. Duko, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka. Professor L. Al-Hassan BK, Federal University of Petroleum Resource, Eforo. Professor M.H. Mohammed, ATBU, Bauchi. Professor T.A.B. Juwa, Lautech, Ogbomoso. Professor A.B. Al-Hassan, Osun State University, Osogbo. Professor J.A. Fuwakpe, Salem University. Professor Adeni Agumbiade, McPherson University. Professor Olu Akeoshola, Mokped Ekpe. Professor Mutale Muson, ACDE, Executive Director. Professor Modest V.D. Varisanga, Open University of Tanzania. Brigadier General H.E. Anyama Sauri, NDA, Kaduna. Kabri Usman, FCT, Abuja. Biodun Ijason, Wellesley University of Science and Technology, Ondo. And in case we have any other visiting vice chancellors or registrars who have messages, please can you come forward? If I don't have your name, you can still come forward. Professor John Bull Echeme, Michael Okpara, University of Agriculture, Umudike. Otumba Dele Ola Peju, Principal, King's College, Lagos. Very much.
Okay. Bible State University, Professor S.W. Peters,
okay.
Registrar representing him.
Okay. That's all. call on the Vice-Chancellor to present the distinguished awardee for the conferment of Doctor of Science honoris causa of the National Open University of Nigeria. Honorary degree. May I call on the Vice-Chancellor to present the distinguished awardee for the conferment of Doctor of Science honoris causa of the National Open University of Nigeria. You give him his proper one.
Visitor, sir, may I clarify that even though in our programs we have a number of honorary awardees, but we are going to present one posthumously. And by the authority conferred on me by the Senate of National Open University of Nigeria, we want to present posthumously on late Professor Aliu Babatunde Fafunwa, who was once a Minister of Education from 1990 to 1992, the degree of Doctor of Education, honorary causa. We now call on the representative who will receive this award on his behalf. They're going to read the citation.
Yes.
Clear the place so that you can stand.
You will stand while they read.
Stand here. Stand.
I call on the university orator to read the citation of late Professor Babatunde Aliu Fafunwa. I don't know when that will be called, because we are following other.
The visitor, sir, distinguished guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, late Professor Aliu Babatunde Fafunwa's son, Mr. Tanimola Fafunwa, will be receiving this posthumous award on behalf of his father. I present the citation of Professor Aliu Babatunde Fafunwa, CON, for the conferment of honoris causa of the National Open University of Nigeria. It is an honor and privilege to pay tribute at this auspicious occasion to a man who, as a consummate educationist, an exemplary administrator, and a distinguished international figure of repute, played a prominent role in the development of education in Nigeria and in Africa. A renowned and erudite scholar, Professor Aliu Babatunde Fafunwa distinguished himself in his chosen field, education. After attending primary and secondary school at the Ahmadiyya School and CMS Grammar School in Lagos, Nigeria, He proceeded for his tertiary education at Bethune-Cookman College, Florida, in the United States of America, where he obtained a Bachelor of Science degree, magna cum laude, in Social Science and English in 1950, a Master of Arts degree in English and Education, cum laude, in 1951, and a PhD, also cum laude, in Administration and Higher Education in 1955 from the New York University in the United States of America. Aliu Fafunwa began his teaching career in 1950, first as an English and Social Studies instructor in the United States, and later as a senior tutor at the Ahmadiyya College in Lagos on his return from the USA in 1956. Professor Fafunwa moved into tertiary education, where he made immense contributions in teaching and administration, first at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and later at the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. At the University of Nigeria, he was head of the College of Education from 1962 to 1963, Professor of Education and Dean of Education in 1965, and Acting Vice Chancellor in 1966. In 1967, Professor Fafunwa transferred his services to the University of Ife, now OAU, Ile-Ife, where he also served in various capacities as Director, Institute of Education, Dean, Faculty of Education, Acting Vice Chancellor, and Deputy Vice Chancellor. A researcher and author of international repute, Professor Fafunwa's contributions to academic research, comprising about 22 books and over 50 publications in national and international journals, remain major sources of reference today. Professor Fafunwa was a man of many firsts, notable among his pioneering work and for which he is most remembered: the introduction of elementary science teaching in Nigeria, and his advocacy for the promotion of mother tongue education, which was predicated on his research work, the Ife 6-year primary education in Yoruba from 1970 to 1985. Other remarkable achievements include the establishment of the Faculty of Education and Institute of Education at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, between 1963 and 1966. He performed the same feat at the University of Ife, now OAU, Ile-Ife, in 1967 and 1972, respectively. A distinguished administrator with extraordinary insight, Professor Fafunwa served in numerous capacities both nationally and internationally. He served as chairman of several councils on education, such as National Policy Development Center, Lagos State Teaching Service Commission, Lagos State College of Education, and the Federal Study Group on Funding Education in Nigeria. He was Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council of the University of of the University of Calabar from 1986 to 1990. He was the first Vice President and later President of the Nigerian Academy of Education between 1985 and 1990. Professor Fafunwa played a major role in the shaping of education administration in Nigeria through his membership of several bodies, such as the Nigerian Union of Teachers, West African Examination Council, Founding Conference of the Association of African Universities, Interim National Universities Commission, and Vice Chancellor's Committee on the Sixth Form and the University Admissions. He was also an external examiner on education to 5 Nigerian universities and 4 foreign universities. Most notable among the various administrative capacities in which Professor Aliu Babatunde Fafunwa served was his tenure as the Honorable Minister of Education and Youth Development from 1990 to 1993, during which he pioneered several key policies and programs in the development of education in Nigeria. For his outstanding contribution to the development of education in Nigeria, Professor Aliu Babatunde Fafunwa was conferred a National Merit Award in 2002, Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. At the international level, several foreign universities and other bodies benefited from Professor Fafunwa's wealth of experience. They include the Makerere University, Kampala in Uganda, University College Cape Coast in Ghana, University of the West Indies in Jamaica, and the University of Sierra Leone, where he was an external examiner. He co-chaired the African Primary Science Program, Kenyan Commission on Teachers. He also served as a member of Sierra Leone Commission on Higher Education, President Association for Teachers Education in Africa, and Vice President of the International Council on Education for Teaching. A distinguished administrator and with extraordinary insight. He served as chairman on several councils in education, such as National Policy Development Center, Lagos State Teaching Service Commission, Lagos State College of Education, and the Federal Study Group on Funding Education in Nigeria. Professor Aliu Babatunde Fafunwa has received several awards in recognition of his contributions in the field of education at home and abroad. They include the Franklin Book Award for Outstanding Contribution to Educational Development in New York City in the United States, Medal for Distinguished Service in Education, Teachers College, Columbia University, New York, Distinguished Alumni Achievement Award, New York University School of Education, Distinguished Fellow International Council on Education for Teaching, Washington, D.C., Jan Amos Cornelius UNESCO Medal for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Education Research and Innovation, Paris, and 4 honorary awards from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, University of Ife, now OAU, Ile-Ife, Lagos State University, Lagos, and Bayero University, Kano. Professor Fafunwa is a detribalized Nigerian whose exemplary leadership has been acknowledged by the conferment of various chieftaincies titles from different parts of the country. A dedicated religious leader and humanitarian, he served as the president of the Jama'atul Islamiyah from 1995 to 2004, and as the president of the Nigerian Heart Foundation from 1995 to 2001. A devoted family man in his lifetime, Professor Aliu Babatunde Fafunwa's marriage to Doris Fafunwa was blessed with 4 children who, following in their father's footsteps, are all accomplished persons in their chosen fields of endeavor. One of them, Mr. Tanimola Fafunwa, the CEO of Resourcery PLC, is present with us today to receive this posthumous award on behalf of his father. The visitor, sir, distinguished guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, on October 11, 2010, the academic community, Nigeria, Africa, and indeed the world lost a foremost educationist and an illustrious son of inestimable value, who served his country meritoriously until he breathed his last. In recognition of this great achiever, selfless patriot, visionary leader, a teacher of teachers, a man who, through distinctive and enduring accomplishments in the field of education, reflected the highest credit upon himself, the academic community, and the nation, and by so doing has left his footprints in the sands of time. Professor Aliu Babatunde Fafunwa, CON, is being honored today with a posthumous award of Doctor of Education honoris causa. It is therefore my honor to invite Mr. Tanimola Fafunwa, CEO, Resourcery PLC, the son of late Professor Aliu Babatunde Fafunwa, to receive this posthumous award on behalf of his father. Thank you.
By the authority conferred on me by the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, I confer on late Professor Babatunde Fafunwa the degree of Doctor of Education honorary causa, posthumously. Congratulations.
The photograph with us.
With Madam, okay. Let's stand up. Come here, come here.
May I call on Mr. Tanimola Fafunwa to respond? Yeah, you can put it down.
Good afternoon. The visitor and President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, represented here by the Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Rukiatu Ahmed Rufai, Chairman, Prof. Greg Iwu of the University's Governing Council, members of the University's Governing Council, the Vice Chancellor, Prof. Vincent Ado Tenebe, the Registrar, Mrs. Josephine Akiyemi, graduates, professors, lecturers, students, and staff of Open University Nigeria, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I should say, my name is Tanimola Fafunwa. I am the son of Professor A.B. Fafunwa. And on behalf of his family, I would like to thank you for bestowing upon my father this honorary degree from this distinguished, innovative university. The Fafunwa family is deeply touched to receive this tribute to my father's life and work. My father spent his whole life dedicated to the ideal of education, the ideal that education should be the right for all and not a privilege for the few. One of his favorite sayings was, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. You can see it's a familiar saying here. If he was here today, I'm sure he would have some very wise words for the graduates. Unfortunately, you have to just bear with my few messages to you. I only have a small story to tell you on the important things in life. One day, a professor stood before his class with some items in front of him. When the class began, he picked up a large empty glass jar and proceeded to fill it with large rocks all the way to the top. He then asked the students if the jar was full, and they agreed that indeed the jar was full. The professor then picked up a box of small stones And he poured them into the jar and shook it lightly. And of course, the stones rolled into the open areas between the rocks. The students laughed. He asked his students again if the jar was full. And of course, this time, they said, of course it's full. The professor then picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. And of course, the sand filled up all the spaces in between. Now, the professor said, I want you to recognize that this container represents your life. The rocks are the important things in your life. Your spouse, husband, wife, your health, your children. Anything that is so important to you that if it was lost, you would be devastated. The stones are the other things that in life that also matter, but on a smaller scale. The stones represent things like your job, shelter, security, etc. The sand is everything else, the small things, the material possessions. Perhaps also the things you're obsessed with. Who am I seen with? What type of phone I have? What kind of watch? If you put the sand or the stones into the jar first, there's no room for the rocks. The same goes for your life. If you spend all your energy and time on the small things, the material things, you'll never have room for the things that are truly important. So pay attention to the things that are critical in your life. Never forget to ask yourself, what are the large rocks in my life? Once you identify them, make sure you put them first in your own jar of life. Remember, everything else is just stones and sand. As my father's fourth child, I can say that he lived his life in a manner that put the rocks first, and he lived a full and fulfilled life. He used up all his potential. He believed in a solid education, and that a solid education makes a difference. He was always optimistic about the difference young Nigerians can make in the future of Nigeria. He spent his life trying to make Nigeria a better place. This was one of his rocks, and quite frankly, it is still a work in progress. As newly minted graduates, it is now your task, your big Olumo Rock task at that, to make Nigeria truly a better place. I wish you the best on your life's journey, and I hope to see the great work that you'll no doubt do. Once again, on behalf of my entire family, I thank you for the honor bestowed upon my father today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to recognize the presence in our midst of the representative of the Chief of Army Staff, the representative of the Chief of Staff 8th Division, representative of Governor of Kano State, representative of Governor of Katsina State, and representative of the Chairman Senate Committee on Education, the Senator Uche Chukwumerije. Is represented by Senator Gamana. Sorry for that. Thank you for coming. Sir, I have the singular honor to call upon Sir, may the VC wish to come forward and invite the visitor to present the visitor's goodwill message to us. Yeah. Page 25.
I have the singular honor to call upon the visitor His Excellency President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented by the Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Rukayat Ahmed Rufai, OON, to present the address. Mr. Visitor, sir. This band.
Distinguished Senator Uche Chukwumereji, CON, Chairman, Senate Committee on Education, ably represented today by Senator Babayo Garba Gamawa, member of the Senate Committee on Education, other members of the National Assembly here present, representatives of the executive governors of the various states here present. I have seen Kano, I have seen Katsina, the Executive Secretary, NUC, Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Governing Council of National Open University of Nigeria, other members of the Governing Council of this university, the Vice Chancellor, the Senate and management of this university, visiting Vice Chancellors from other universities, rectors and provosts here present, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Your Royal Highnesses, my dear distinguished graduates, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm here representing the visitor to this university, His Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, at the second convocation ceremony of this university, today, 19th of January, 2013. Although the visitor could not personally be here, but he sent in his goodwill and asked me to read his address. The address goes as such. It is my pleasure to join you today for the second convocation ceremony of the National Open University of Nigeria. Let me specifically congratulate the graduating students who have successfully completed their various programs of study in this Open University and will be awarded or are awarded their degrees and diplomas. This success, no doubt, opens a new chapter in your individual lives. I'm confident that this institution has provided you the requisite foundation and self-assurance to enable you compete effectively among the best in your respective fields. Given the level of education that you received from this institution, I expect that you will seize the moment to excel, become self-reliant, and more relevant in the society. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to also congratulate the distinguished recipient of honorary degree who had been selected on his own merit and on the basis of his immense contributions to the development of education and human capacity generally. This degree is awarded posthumously. I congratulate the family on the achievement of this great Nigerian, late Professor Aliyu Babatunde Fafungwa. I will equally like to congratulate the Vice Chancellor, the Governing Council, and other members of staff of National Open University of Nigeria for ensuring that the university meets its mandate of producing open and decent learning to Nigerians from diverse fields. I urge you to continue in that direction. This government recognizes the pivotal role education plays in our national development and therefore continues to place high premium on education in its transformation agenda. In line with this desire, government will sustain its support and use open and distance learning as a veritable tool for broadening the scope and access to quality education. As you are aware, only last week, government approved the establishment of 3 new federal universities in Kebbi, Yobe, and Zamfara states. Beyond the goal of citing a federal university in each state of the federation, our administration's focus is also on increasing the number of spaces available for qualified school leavers each year. While government will continue to provide the environment conducive to academic development and physical growth, I reiterate my charge to the management of tertiary institutions to be more innovative by seeking other acceptable avenues of complementing government's efforts. I also wish to renew the call to other stakeholders in the educational sector to collaborate with government in the funding of education. Our tertiary institutions also need to do more in improving the quality of teachers and teaching. It is their role to positively transform our society. The onus, therefore, is on them to recruit, nurture, and retain the very best of experts for the growth of our institutions. With the ongoing reforms in the educational sector, we are also determined to see that the education provided in our schools, colleges, and universities produce men and women of integrity and entrepreneurial skills and spirits capable of contributing positively to our nation's overall development. I'm pleased to note that the National Open University of Nigeria recently made a landmark achievement by being the first university to successfully conduct electronic examinations simultaneously in all its study centers nationwide. This indeed is broadening access to education and taking education to the doorsteps of Nigerian citizens as promised by this administration. I wish to reiterate that there is heavy reliance on our tertiary institutions to come up with practical solutions to persistent national challenges. To remain relevant, therefore, our universities must strive to meet the high expectations of our growing population. This is part of the reasons this government initiated the 4-year strategic plan for the development of the education sector 2011 to 2015. As a government, our doors are permanently open to constructive ideas on how best to achieve our collective aspiration for this important sector. Finally, let me also thank all our development partners at the national and international levels. We expect that more assistance will be rendered to National Open University of Nigeria as it stabilizes and develops into the largest open university in Africa. Once again, I congratulate all our graduates and wish you well in your future endeavors. Thank you and God bless you. As Honorable Minister of Education, let me reiterate and commend National Open University for issuing certificates today. Let me also emphasize that it has been our directive, based on the transformation agenda of this administration, under Mr. President, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, that we will no longer graduate students, issue them statements of results, allow them for many years to be running up and down looking for certificates. No certificate, no convocation, and that remains. Thank you very much.
What shall we say unto the Lord? All I have to say, thank you, Lord. What shall I say unto the Lord? All I have to say thank you, Lord. Everybody, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. All I have to say, thank shall we do today? Today, I will lift up my voice in prayer. What shall we do today? Today, I will lift up my voice in prayer. Worthy Lord, you are more than worthy, Lord, to be praised and adored. Worthy Lord, you are more than worthy, Lord, worthy Lord, to be praised and adored. You be faithful, Lord, from the ages past. That is why your name, Olórúkọ ńlá, is forevermore.
Thank you and congratulations to everybody. Sir, I have the singular honor to call upon Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, may I invite you to declare the convocation ceremony closed?
I hereby declare this convocation ceremony closed.
National anthem now. They don't close now. National anthem. Oh God, they don't close. Oh God, they don't close. National anthem.
May we all rise for the now anthem and the national anthem. In reverse order. The visitor. Please kindly stop the music. The session is on. The mayor and the visitor of the university, followed by the executive secretary, Professor Julius Okogie. Kindly please switch off the music. The procession is in progress. They said I should stop it, sir. Light music underground. Members of the entourage, the pro-chancellor of the university, the vice-chancellor, council members of the National Open University of Nigeria,
we kindly request that we have a silent music while the procession is going on. After the procession, then we have the honorary graduates. Please, others, kindly wait for further announcement. Congratulations, principal officers of the National Open University of Nigeria. This is the closing ceremony of the second convocation ceremony of the National Open University of Nigeria. Members of the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, after the visiting vice chancellors, provosts and rectors of various institutions, the Senate of the National Open University of Nigeria, event, the second convocation ceremony, January 19, 2013. We want to encourage all our graduates to file out in a peaceful manner for their pictures with their various families and friends. Thanks so much. Congratulations, graduates. Best wishes to every member of the families of NOUN in all the federal states of the Federation. Thank you.